In Spain, the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella established the Spanish Inquisition. Religious minorities become targets of relentless persecution, accused of heresy. Thousands face torture, imprisonment, and execution, their only crime being their faith. In the 1830s in the United States, the Trail of Tears marks the forced relocation of Native American tribes from their ancestral lands to what is now Oklahoma. Thousands perish from disease, starvation, and exposure, victims of a brutal ethnic cleansing. The mid-20th century brings no respite from humanity's cruelty. The partition of British India in 1947 births two independent nations, India and Pakistan. The process, however, is marred by violence, communal riots, and mass displacement, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of thousands. During the early 90s, as Yugoslavia disintegrates, the Bosnian War unfolds. In the town of Srebrenica, Bosnian Serb forces massacre more than 8,000 Bosniak men and boys, an act recognized as genocide by international courts. Rewind again to the early 20th century, where the Ottoman Empire orchestrates the Armenian Genocide. The systematic extermination of Armenians, Assyrians, and Greeks results in the deaths of an estimated 1.5 million people, victims of mass killings, forced labor, and deportation. In the mid-20th century, the Algerian War of Independence erupts, a brutal conflict between Algerian nationalists and the French colonial government. Widespread violence, torture, and civilian massacres mark both sides of the struggle. Finally, in 1968, during the Vietnam War, American soldiers massacre hundreds of unarmed Vietnamese civilians in the village of My Lai. The world watches in horror, the massacre sparking international outrage and condemnation. Conclusion. So, what do these dark chapters tell us about humanity? They expose our capacity for cruelty and our propensity for justifying it under the guise of power, religion, or ideology. But they also highlight the resilience of the human spirit and the power of collective memory. We remember these atrocities not to dwell in the past, but to learn from it, to ensure that such horrors do not repeat themselves. History is our greatest teacher, and its darkest chapters serve as a somber reminder of the depths we can sink to if we allow hatred, intolerance, and prejudice to guide our actions.